Hi guys, so welcome to our second math video for the year. We're going to finish section 1.1 today and we're going to focus on this last objective, which looks at the intersections of lines and planes. Okay, intersections where two things cross, where two things meet. Let's see what we're going to dive in today. It says, what is the relationship between points, lines, and planes? So we're going to go through some different cases and we're going to look at where they meet, where they cross, the intersection points, okay? So the first one here, if you have two distinct different points, how many lines can you draw? So this part of the lesson is kind of cool because it's a little bit more interactive, like we can move shapes around and things like that. So it is a little bit more visual, which is awesome. So 2 points, and if you want to draw this figure in your notes in this question, if I have 2 points, how many ways can I draw a line through them? Notice there's only one line, right? There's only one line that will go through both of those points. I can't have it any other way where a line will go through 2 points. So it takes 2 points to make one line. Okay? The next case we have, if I have two distinct lines intersecting, what can I say about the intersection? So I just made these two lines intersect right there. What would be the vocab word to describe where they intersect? How about 1 point, right? At 1 point, I can have the intersection of two lines. Another case is a little bit more three-dimensional to see here, but here are two planes. Okay, I have a pink plane and a blue plane. And where they intersect is at one line. Think about if you have two pieces of paper with cuts down the middle of them, you can slide them into each other, and where they're going to cross, where they're going to meet, is at one line. Two planes intersect at one line, okay? Another case is if I have 3 points, how many planes can go through 3 points? The answer is just one plane. It's a flat surface, and there's only going to be one flat surface that goes through all 3 of those points, okay? Just one plane. And the last type of example we can have is how do lines and planes intersect? So there I have a plane, here I have a line. The line will go straight through the plane. A good visual would be if I took this line and made it dotted, right? Dotted lines represent it goes through or underneath. So how about that? And what would be the vocab word to describe where it goes through the plane? A point. 1 point will represent the intersection of a line and a plane. Okay? So if you have any questions on that, email me, reply to the video on Schoology, save them for a live session or the office hours because I want to answer it. But let's take a look at this example. These are 2 examples to talk about intersections of lines and planes. So we're going to look at this figure here and answer these questions. So my first question is, what is another name for line AD? I know it's a line because of that bar with 2 arrows. Line AD, this taps back into the last video. What's another way for me to name a line? Well, if it has a lowercase letter, I could name it by that lowercase letter, but AD doesn't have that, right? So another way is for me to just reverse those letters. Line DA, okay? I can't use B because it's a point in the middle of the line, so that would kind of make it a ray, right? Remember what ray is? That brings us to our next question. Name a pair of opposite rays. Opposite rays, remember, have the same endpoint, but they go in different directions. So let's take a look here. If I look at BD, goes in one direction, and then BA goes in the other direction, and both of those rays have the same endpoint, B. And I know they go in opposite directions, but we don't change the notation. The notation stays the same the whole time, okay? How you know the direction is based on what is the second letter. And then the last question, it says, what is the intersection of the two planes? So notice, just like the example on the last slide, I have the blue plane and the pink plane. How would I call where they intersect? There's a few different ways. They intersect, hopefully you're thinking at this line. So I can call it line D because it has a lowercase. I can also call it line BC, 2 points on the line, BC or CB, with that notation, the bar and the 2 arrows. Okay? Save any questions for office hours, email me, reply to a comment on Schoology. I have one other example for today. So, let's take a look at this cube, guys. It says, use the diagram to answer the following questions. Name a point that is collinear. We're hitting good vocab. Name a point that is collinear with points WX. Okay, here's W and here's X. 2 points, collinear. What's collinear again? When points are on the same line. So what is another point that lies on this line with WX? Hopefully you're thinking B. Awesome job. Point B is collinear with points WX. Similar to that question, name a point that is not collinear with points WX. So what is another point not on this line with them? Could be any of those other points, guys. S, Z, V, N, A, U. Doesn't matter which ones. I said point T. Right here's the line I was working with. Point T is all the way up there. Up here on this line or that line. It's not on this line with W, B, and X. Okay, I have another question here. Name a point that is coplanar with S, T, U. So guys, remember, coplanar means points are on the same plane. It really helps here if you have like colored pencils or anything, because, not that I'm going to be able to get the same shape, but then you can really see it a little bit better. Highlighting over that plane, it said STU. I'm not going to be able to get that shape. STU is this one right there. Let's just shade. Let's get a highlighter. STU is right here. That plane. And this is what I would do in my notes. Highlight over it. So name a point that is coplanar with STU. It could be any of those other points, V or A, that is on that plane. Point V, I said. Next question. Name a point that is not coplanar with SWX. So let's highlight that plane. I just go through them. It's like connect the letters. SWX. Then I realize it's this plane we're talking about. So name a point that is not coplanar. So name a point that is not on this plane. Point U, all the way over here. Okay, makes sense. The visual with the coloring really helps, guys. Let's do I have 2 last questions for us. Name the intersection of plane. As soon as I see the plane, I'm going to go highlight it. Name the intersection of plane STX and plane T. Where's T? TXY. And really, you're looking for where those 2 colors are overlapping. Hopefully you see they're overlapping right here at TX. And that's my answer. Line segment TX is where those 2 planes intersect. And then a similar question. Name the intersection of plane W. Where's W? WZY. Whoa. WZY. Let's see if I can get rid of these other ones. And plane S. Let's get a different color. SVZ. Once you highlight it, guys, look how easy that is to figure out where the intersection is, where those colors are highlighted over. Okay, so colored pencils would be awesome to do this. And there's my answer. Line segment ZW is my answer. Okay, awesome job today, guys. You're going to do some practice using this video as examples. Email me if you have any questions. Slide into my Schoology DMs if you have any questions. And you're doing great, guys. Awesome job.